I am doing a brand new series to go through every member of the president's cabinet and talk to you about their roles. Because we're hearing a lot of speculation on who Trump is going to pick for his cabinet, and I think it's really good to have some background on what these roles actually entail, because some of the names that are being thrown out don't really make sense with the role. So this is just the introduction video for the series where I'm going to go through a little bit of history and some much needed context before we jump in. Now, fun fact, the cabinet is actually not in the Constitution. George Washington decided he needed a group of advisors and he created the cabinet. The Constitution does allow the president to make appointments for various roles, all with the consent of the Senate. Keep this in mind, the president doesn't just wave a magic wand and pick his entire cabinet. Every single cabinet member needs to go through the Senate and actually get confirmed. And that is done by a simple majority of 51 votes out of 100 in the Senate. Now, this could actually be a very lengthy process. Since Trump has a Republican Senate, it should go a lot smoother than if he didn't. On average, it takes the United States 61 days to fill a cabinet seat. In the meantime of this process, the president is allowed to pick someone to temporarily fill that role up to 210 days. Now, keep in mind that the president's cabinet is not just there to advise him. They are actually in line for succession if anything happened to the vice president, the Speaker of the House, and the president pro tem of the Senate. The next person in line that would become president if anything happened to all of those people would be the Secretary of State. But as I go through this series, I will actually go through each position in order of succession. Here's a fun fact. Even though Designated Survivor is a great show on Netflix, there is actually a lot of truth to it. So during events like the State of the Union, where you have the entire cabinet there is one person that is the designated survivor. That means they are taken to an undisclosed location that if anything happened, like if Congress blew up or something, they would be the president. Now, I talked to you about how cabinet members are chosen, but how are they removed? The president can remove any cabinet member at any time. And if you're Trump, that means even on social media. Now, Congress does have the authority to impeach a cabinet member, and it has been attempted one time, but the person ended up stepping down before it went through. Most cabinet members just end up resigning before anything really happens. Trump notoriously had high turnover in his cabinet, which, are we even surprised? He is like the king of firing people. So we will see what this term looks like. Now, a lot of people want me to give my opinion about who I think should take each role, and I might do that here and there, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters, because I believe you should surround yourself with people who challenge you, and that is just not the Trump way. For example, I thought Rand Paul should be the Senate Majority Leader, and people quickly jumped down my throat saying that nope, it'll never happen because he didn't campaign for Trump and didn't endorse Trump. Trump will not keep people close to him that challenge him in any way unless they completely agree with him on everything. I personally do not think that is a good leadership quality, but it's the reality we're living in. You can have people who are loyal to you who also disagree with you. For example, me and my husband, we are very loyal to each other, but we do disagree on things, and that is okay. It actually makes us better. It makes us want to grow. And just a side note here, I have a lot of Kennedy people who follow me. So when looking at Kennedy and his actions, he said at the beginning that he was going to openly disagree with Trump and that was going to be okay. And as the campaign went on, he didn't disagree with him about anything. And whether you think that is right or not, he's probably playing smart if he actually wants a cabinet role. Because again, it's just not the Trump way to keep people around you who disagree with you. So that's my introduction video on the president's cabinet. Stay tuned, because next video we're going to talk about the Secretary of State. And of course, let me know your thoughts about all this and make sure you're following me for more.